Back to the stream. Welcome back to another day. Hopefully, a green day today. Yesterday was not quite what we hoped, but hopefully that will change. And also, we have a new microphone on the set. We've got it right here, the Shure MV7. So hopefully, it sounds as good as or better than the old mic. That's the hope, right? I haven't quite tested it out as much as I would like, but we've got a new mic. So there we go. But let's start off by taking a peek at the chart, seeing what's happened in the after hours and pre-markets. And first of all, good morning, Silver. Good morning, Rich. Good morning, Ambition. Glad to see you're all back in the chat, as usual, right? So it looks like a lot of these stocks haven't really moved all that much. The markets, though, have moved a bit. The SPY went down a bit, as Silver, I believe, pointed out. Good morning, Need Love You Long Time. Good morning. That's a cool name. And Shiba is rebounding, thank God, says Ambition. Let's hope that Shiba... I think I'm still holding some of it. I may have sold, but yeah, wow, Shiba Inu up 33%. Nice point out on that one. Yeah, up 33.22%. Impressive stuff. We'll definitely take a peek at crypto in a minute. Good morning, howdy ho, Zach Taylor. And Rich M says inflation and COVID fear pimping is not helping the market. Yeah, I know. The media really likes talking about COVID fears and the new variant. I mean, that's all I see. You know, if you actually even just pull up Yahoo Finance, the front page of Yahoo Finance is the real Omicron threat factor that's moving the market. It's crazy stuff. So, yeah, the media definitely wants a lot of clicks. I mean, I may end up clicking on that story just to see what the heck they're talking about. Let's see. What are they saying the real factor is? So out of nowhere last week, the Omicron variant of COVID appeared out of nowhere to sow confusion and fear. Okay. So, what are they saying the real factor is? In the intervening days, numbers of unanswered questions have been raised. All right. At a minimum, and depending on the variant severity, its appearance suggests the Federal Reserve may alter its plans to taper its stimulus, or at least push back a rate hike campaign that's expected to begin sometime next year. So, that's possible. That's definitely possible. And I know a lot of people would be happy to see it, actually, if the Fed kept the printers running. So, yeah, I mean, from the sound of it, it's possible that could happen. I don't know. I think things would have to get pretty bad if the Fed was going to change their plans. Not that bad, but things would have to, there would actually have to be some effect of it. I mean, right as of right now, I don't know what the actual effect of the new variant is, if there's really been too many more cases because of it, or if people are just pointing out that it exists now. I really haven't kept up with too much of the variant news. I think a lot of it gets hyped up, but we'll see. We'll see. So, okay, this article also says, and it underscores, whoops, clicked a weird link. Stocks reacted favorably to Monday's reassurances by Joe Biden that new lockdowns are not in the cards, at least for the moment. All right, so it looks like no new lockdowns. And you have COVID fear, and the Fed speaking today. It's going to be a bumpy road. Yeah, I think so, Drunken Irish. And good morning, Tim Boone. Good morning, Manny C. Cyber Monday sales missed. Wow. Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff going on in the markets. This variant isn't the only thing. A lot of stuff is going on. So I actually got up a little bit late today. Ended up sleeping in. I only got maybe 5 hours of sleep the night before, so I wanted to catch up on some sleep tonight. I've also got a cup of coffee, so a little cup of coffee to keep me going, to get me started, but hopefully I'll gain some natural energy. Good morning, Shadow Curl, and good morning, Salt and Salt. And take a look at PPSI, small float and a whopping 40% short interest. I'll definitely take a look at that, PPSI. There are a couple of things that I do want to take a peek at, some of the economic activity for the day, but I'll look at PPSI. So, okay. Right now, PPSI doesn't have actually any of this information on Ortex, none of the short interest change or the estimated short interest for whatever reason. Not quite sure why, but 87.5% utilization. So, all right, I got it. That looks like a good one. And good morning, Jordan Israel Peterson. And the new mic is here. Yeah, the new mic. We got it right here. Let's see if we can't get it in the frame for those of you who are just joining, but we've got the new mic. So the Shure MV7. Does it sound the same? I think when I did a little test of it yesterday, and I'm pretty sure it sounded exactly the same to me. I think they're both USB mics, and I think that's the limitation. The USB is only capable of carrying such a certain sound quality through to the computer. I think that if I had one of those fancier cords, which I do, but I don't have anything to plug it into the computer with. Then maybe it would sound a little bit better, but who knows? Who knows? So I was about to take a peek. Okay, first we can take a peek at crypto. And Hero says SHIB is really having fun today. I have 2K on SHIB, up over $1,200. Not surprising because Shiba Inu is pumping pretty high. It's up 32%. So we are definitely making back some of the losses. If you look over the past 7 days, or even look at the past 3 months, you can see that we just had a big rebound in Shiba Inu price. So a lot of new people, a lot of new money entering Shiba Inu. So good stuff for anyone who's been holding it for the past while. It looks like we are not quite up on the month, but very close to being up on the month. So good thing. And I think that I sold my Shiba Inu. I'm pretty darn sure that I sold the last like $100 that I had of it, still for a big gain. But I was just tired of holding it, I think, after seeing it decline so much. But now it's up again, so good stuff. I mean, how high can it go in the end? I mean, it already has a market cap of 28.7 billion, so we'll see. It could do more for sure. It could definitely get bigger. It's been bigger before. We'll have to see if we can't get some of the renewed Shiba Inu hype going on. And I am curious, actually, what Floki coin is doing. Floki Inu. There it is, Floki Inu. Okay. So Floki Inu is also up today, up 15% on the day. It looks like it's following in Shiba Inu's stead. And there we go. Yeah, so both Floki Inu and Shiba Inu are up. Floki Inu has a market cap, doesn't say the market cap, but 1.7 billion. There we go. So 1.7 billion market cap for Floki Inu. So potentially that one could be going up as well. Now, I did want to pull up some of the economic indicators that we had going on for the day, and we'll see what's going on in the markets today, if there's anything interesting, but I'll pull those up real quick for you guys and for myself. I'm curious also. So okay, so in 50 minutes, Fed Chair Powell testifies. All right, let's see what this is. Okay, so Fed Chair Powell testifies. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell is to testify on the economic outlook and recent monetary policy actions before the Joint Economic Committee in Washington, D.C. The testimony is in 2 parts. The first is a prepared statement. Then the committee conducts a question and answer session. The Q&A portion of the testimony can see heavy market volatility for the duration. So we should expect that starting at 10. So in about 50 minutes, we should expect to see that. And let's see. Tim Boone says, jumped in NAKD. Let's take a peek and see where NAKD got to over the after hours. Nice. Okay, so it's nearing 62. I didn't enter it yesterday, but I might be entering it today at 62. We'll see. I did want it to drop just a touch more, and I didn't see it rising yesterday, so I saw it was pretty stagnant. I decided to wait. It looks like I might be rewarded for that. If we can get it, we'll put in a little order. Not a massive order. We'll get in. We'll dip our feet into NAKD slowly. But yeah, NAKD is looking pretty good at the moment. If you guys watched that video I put out yesterday, I really like the pattern on NAKD. So let's buy. We can buy 1,000 at least. There we go. So that should only be about $600 or whatnot. So there we go, 620, and there we go. We'll put in the limit order. That won't execute in pre-market, so we got to edit this and put in extended. There we go. Nice. All right, so we'll get in NAKD. I do like the look of it, and if it did drop below 58, I mean, we'll only have lost 4 cents, and if it drops below 58, then the pattern isn't really holding, but it's a pretty good pattern from the look of it. If anyone's interested in NAKD, if anyone hasn't watched that video I put out, it's an interesting pattern that we're seeing with them. So who knows if it will maintain itself, but I hope it does. Shadow Girl Dawn, good morning. Let's press the like button. Yes, let's definitely do that. It looks like we've got 53 viewers and 22 likes. So, I mean, if anyone hasn't hit the like button, it would be much appreciated if we could get some likes rolling in on the stream. That would be very nice. And Rich M, any news on DWAC? Not that I've heard of, but let's see if there's anything that Google has to say about it. Okay, well, the media will do anything. Look at that. Look at this that I'm about to pull up. DWAC stock, Omnicron. Well, why Omnicron is exactly what Digital World Acquisition needs. um, all right, so I mean they'll do anything with this new variant. They'll use it to talk about anything. But easily one of the most controversial IPOs of 2021, the intended merger between DWAC and TMTG has generated nothing but buzz. Personally, I don't care about the political implications of DWAC stock. I'm reading an article, by the way, that people want to read opinion pieces about. It is what gets me going. However, if you did want to integrate DWAC stock into your portfolio, the attention surrounding the underlying special purpose acquisition company will basically bring the Truth Social platform to the public investing domain. It's a clear asset. All right, so what does it say about Omnicron, though? Omicron, that's it. Okay, I've been saying it wrong this whole time. So, however, the reclamation might take a backseat due to the Omicron coronavirus variant first detected in southern Africa. So far, the WHO labels it a variant of concern. Well, that's bad news in near term for DWAC stock. It could be longer term prescription the doctor ordered. So DWAC stock is in prime position to troll. Many years ago, I mentioned that shares of this one particular company have been trending negatively since its first closing price. However, a random internet commenter criticized my lack of research, noting that the IPO price was much lower. Well, of course, the two prices are different. We're talking about blah, blah, blah. All right. Well, this article seems kind of meh. Not too interesting, but there we go. So maybe the Omnicron will be good for DWAC. We'll see. And Seem Blind 2, Sundial, When Moon. Also, reminder, Rob butters his toast. Unsub. That's true. I do like butter on the toast. But yeah, just feel free to unsub if you don't like butter on your toast. Yeah, but when will Sundial Moon? Hopefully soon. I mean, it looks like we're really getting pushed down to the deepest depths that we've been before. We're down to around 63 cents in the well, we hit 63 cents in the pre-market. Now we're at 63.5. So we'll see what we can do with Sundial. If we can't, I mean, I think that, it can only go down like this in a straight line for so long. It eventually has to bob back up, and I think it could bob back up in a big way. I think that it's like holding a beach ball underwater, as some people have said in the past. So we could definitely see some good stuff with Sundial over the next couple of days. We'll have to see, though. Shorts can only hold it down for so long. And looking at the short interest, I'll pull up the short interest on Sundial, and we'll see what we've got for it. But it's looking like there's a couple new shorts, but barely any. About 3 million new shorted shares today. Not that much. 0.89% of the free float. Or 0.89% increase, rather, has been added. So not many new shorts, but some new shorts are coming into Sundial. Not the worst news, not the best news, but there we go. So I will be right back, guys. I do want to turn on this fan real quick. I always forget to turn on the fan, but I will be right back. So just hold on 1 second. Okay, there we go. There we go. We are back. We are back. So let's see. We've got a lot of comments that I've been neglecting. So Nicholas Morello says, "Good morning, Rob. Do you think the market is in for a correction?" First of all, good morning. Second of all, the SPY, it looks like it is dipping a little bit over the past couple of days. I mean, potentially we could see more of a dip. We are already down a bit in the pre-market. We're down to around 460. I believe we are, at least, yeah. So 461.50 is about where we're at. So looking at the 1 year, we could certainly be dipping further. I mean, we could definitely break the lows that we saw this last little dip that we were on just 2 days ago. So, or I think this was Friday. Yeah, so we could definitely break the lows of Friday. No doubt we could do that. How much of a correction could we really go on? I mean, the Fed is talking about tapering, so they have started, slowing their bond purchases. I believe they started the slowdown. I think they've done more than just announce it, but it's definitely possible that we could be dipping quite a bit, right? The markets might not be reacting favorably to that. They might want to show the Fed, some of the institutions might want to show the Fed, hey, no, you can't slow down the bond purchases. We want more money. We want more money printing. They might do it just suffer some short-term pain just to get those long-term gains from the Fed printing more money. They might do it. Especially with the Omicron variant, right? A lot of people might be worried about that. We could certainly be in for a little dip. It's very possible that we could be dipping a little bit in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks. We'll see. When they tapered in 2013, the market ripped, says Nicholas Morello. I think so. 2013. Let's take a peek at what happened in 2013. They continued moving up 2013. But I will point out that the last time they really started tapering, lowering interest rates, I remember it was actually, I think it was the end of 2018. They started raising interest rates, and you can see 2018 had been a rocky year somewhat, but we were getting up to close to $300, and I remember the markets just started tanking. I mean, we went from close to 300, around 291, all the way down to 240, 239, 235 at the lows, and right at the end of the year, they reversed course. They decided not to keep raising the interest rates, and then the market started moving up again. So we'll see. We'll see, if they end up raising interest rates. But I think that people in the markets definitely don't like it when the Fed is less dovish than they have been in the past. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. It's possible that they'll continue on course. It could be tough. It could be tough, especially with the Omicron variant. Omicron spells moronic if you scramble it, says Maria G. That's interesting. I think it does. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. They're messing with us now. They're playing games with us. And good morning, Francis Goyete. Good morning. All right. So let's hope that this limit order on NAKD fills. We're not that far off. We're pretty darn close. We just need to get to 62. It's right there, pretty much. It's just half a cent away from where we've got the order set for. We'll see. We'll see. Rich M. Fear pimping. Yeah, I mean, the media certainly likes talking about the Omicron variant. But let's see what we've got on stock twits. What's the most active? Right now, Shiba Inu is actually the most active on stock twits. Right under it is AMC SPY Ocugen, making a bit of a comeback on stock twits. It looks like some people are talking about that for whatever reason. It's not up or down that much. It's down 0.31%. So we'll see. We'll see. And Ufuk says, what is the ultimate event that we waiting for legalization of cannabis, and when do you think that will happen in your opinion? So I think, obviously the ultimate event for the legalization of cannabis will be them legalizing it, but we've already got that Republican legalization bill in the House, and let's see if there's any update on it, if we've got anything that has come out lately. So it looks like it's just in the House right now. We're just waiting for that Republican bill to potentially, be debated a little bit more. Maybe some people will give some alterations to it. They'll put their input in and say, hey, we would support it if we change this, this, and this. And really, that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for a bill to get through the House, to get through the Senate, and then to get to the president's desk, where the president will either have the option to sign it or not sign it. And I think it would be a very unpopular decision to not sign the bill. So, really, we're just waiting for these bills that are already in Congress to go through. We're waiting for people to push them through. It takes a long time for Congress to actually do that. So, lawmakers are slow, and we're going to have to wait a little bit, I think. Probably not in December. It probably won't happen in December is my guess. The government's very slow, so it'll probably take a bit of time before it actually gets through. But once it does, I think that it's going to be very tough for anyone to justify, for a president to justify not passing it. Because polls have shown that the majority of Americans, even the majority of Republicans, support legalization. So, I mean, and this is a Republican-led bill. It would be tough for a president, especially a Democratic president, to say no to legalizing cannabis when they've been trying to do it for so long, supposedly, when they've been trying to do it for so long. So I think that could be a massive catalyst for Sundial. When that actually happens, obviously, for all cannabis stocks, there'll be a massive catalyst. And when Sundial going to buy back shares, says Sub-Zero. Well, we're going to have to wait and see. I mean, I would have thought that they would do it right off the bat. I would have thought that they would be very eager to buy back shares. It looks like they might be waiting. They might be waiting until this downtrend ends, until shorts have stopped just decimating the stock, pushing it down and down. They might be waiting for a little bit of a rebound in price, and then they want their share buyback to help out the gaining price, right? They want to boost the price up even more, because they do need to get to over $1 sometime before February if they want to avoid delisting. They're going to have to be up above $1. So we'll see what they can do, but I think that their strategy might be, instead of trying to bounce it up off this initial burst where shorts were caught off guard, shorts had no choice almost but to push this thing down, because they certainly didn't want to cover at these elevated prices, right? They would have maybe been down on money. Some shorts might have been down on money. If you look back at Sundial over the past 90 days, a lot of the shorts may have been getting in at relatively cheaper prices, right? Not many of these prices were over 90 cents over the past 90 days. In fact, pretty much none of these shorts, if anyone was shorting over the past 90 days, were above 90 cents. So Sundial might have known, that shorts didn't want to cover this thing and we're going to push it down even more, even if it didn't make sense over the long term to increase their short positions that much. So Sundial's been getting pushed down. Looks like some shorts are exiting, which we saw yesterday. And now we're just waiting to see when Sundial's actually going to start moving up, when it's actually going to start its uptrend. And potentially that is near the time when Sundial Growers, the management team, will decide to do the share buyback. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. And has Shiba Inu been listed on Kraken yet? Has it been listed on Kraken yet? I'm not sure if it's been listed on Kraken. So, okay, so here we go. Okay, look at that. So as of today, Kraken lists Shiba Inu for trades, deposits as the news sends values soaring. Yeah, so it is available on Kraken now, and this just happened today. That's actually why Shiba Inu is up today. So it looks like that's the big catalyst that Shiba Inu had. Let's take a peek at Shiba Inu price. Do you guys think that Shiba Inu will keep going up, or is this a temporary increase as the people on Kraken get into it? Maybe as some hype enters the crypto, as people are excited that it's listed on a new exchange. Are you guys waiting? Is anyone waiting for a possible Robinhood listing of Shiba Inu? I'm curious. I'm not sure. I can't see why Robinhood wouldn't list Shiba Inu. In fact, I would have thought that they would do it, long before now, because they made so much money off of Dogecoin when they were allowing Dogecoin to trade. But they don't necessarily just want to jump in on Shiba Inu, have a bunch of their customers put money in it, pump the price up, and then have it crash, right? They don't necessarily want to alienate their customers like that. So it's tough to say. And Tyler Mike says, isn't it manipulation when Sundial does not buy back their shares? Obviously, if they're not buying back shares, this will go lower. Not necessarily manipulation, right? They might be waiting for it to drop, and you can relate this to, any of us, right? If any of us are waiting for the stock to drop, if traders in general are waiting for a stock to drop before buying back their shares, they might want to get them cheaper. They know that, it is traders buying that raises the price of something. So I don't think it's necessarily manipulation, but I would prefer if they had bought back their shares earlier and raised this above $1 sooner rather than later. I mean, it speaks to what they think of the shorts. They must think the shorts are pretty darn powerful, and obviously the shorts are very powerful. They've got a lot of interest in keeping Sundial down. 286 million shares at the moment. That was closer to 330 million way back when Sundial first pumped up. I think we saw highs of 350 million short shares. So, shorts definitely want to keep Sundial down. We'll have to see if they can do it over the next couple of weeks. I mean, they've been successful thus far, but I think that people are starting to realize that Sundial has been pushed down a little bit too much. I think it's a little too oversold at this point. It's down pretty much. It's down below where it was trading before the earnings call, the best earnings call they've ever had. So it doesn't make too much sense, I think, for Sundial to continue moving down. We'll see, though. We'll see. And Amy Suffer says yes. Sfar says yes. Spar, maybe that's how you say it. Says yes to Tyler Mike. So she thinks it is manipulation. I mean, it's kind of, but not too, not in a very legal sense, I don't think. Sundial has a lot of time to buy back, says Silver. Yes, Sundial does. They do. And good morning, Rico. Good morning. And Rich M says it's going to be tamale season. What's a good stock involving masa? I mean, those cyclicals, like tamale season, that could be, I don't know any tamale stocks, but I wish I did. So Ambition 2020 says, no, it's up due to Metaverse. It's heavily involved. You're talking about Shiba Inu? So let's see. It could be. Okay, yeah. So here we go. Motley Fool has an article. Shiba Inu surges higher today on metaverse speculation. Prominent meme coin Shiba Inu has been on a volatile ride of late, to say the least. Today, the dog inspired token was up 3.4%. This move came amid what appears to be a more stable crypto market Monday morning. Most major crypto, blah, blah, blah. Key driver taking Shiba Inu higher today appears to be speculation around the meme coin playing a role in the metaverse. Shiba Inu ambassador talked about a potential Shiba Inu metaverse game. Today, it seems investors are factoring in a more bullish outlook on Shiba Inu on this news. Okay, so that could certainly be contributing to it. That could definitely be contributing to it. That could be. I think a decent amount of it might be the Kraken listing that happened today. But yeah, for sure, the metaverse news is definitely gonna, that's definitely gonna have an impact. A lot of people are hyping up the metaverse as of late, so for sure. And Sub-Zero says, I got like 20K Sundial around 73 cents. Do you think it's a good idea to sell $1 call options? Taking a peek at the Sundial call options, that's definitely something you can do. I mean, I haven't done it. I've decided to wait until we pump up a little bit more because the call options, I feel, are fairly cheap. I think that, they're selling for a little bit less than they should be. Even if you're looking out about, a month and a half or a month and 20 days, so a month and 2/3, you're only getting a 5 or 6 cent premium per share for those call options. So I don't know. I think that Sundial, if we pump up a bit more, if we get above $1, then I'd think about selling the 150 call options. You could definitely sell them though, if that's what you're interested in. I might be selling, right? I would sell them if they were just a little bit more expensive. I'd be selling some. I'm just waiting for a little bit more of a pump on Sundial. I'm hoping. I tend to prefer selling call options when the stock is moving up. I don't view this as a great time, like an optimal opportunity to be selling call options, because it looks like we're reaching a bottom in Sundial. I mean, I just don't see how much lower it could really get pushed. It looks like we're due for a little pop sometime soon, hopefully. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. And we'll see. Maybe it will have been the case that selling those call options was the right call. And there we go. We just got our order filled on NAKD stock at 62 cents per share. I'll be right back real quick, guys. Need a tissue real quick. Okay, there we go. We're back. And it looks like we're off to a green start on Sundial and PROG, especially. PROG is moving up quite well. Even despite this big red bar that we've gotten this last minute, it's not that bad considering what we've done the first two. So we're looking pretty good on some of the meteor plays. SPY not doing as good. It's looking like they're struggling. Okay, they're starting to move up as well. All the stocks are up except NAKD. Looks like we're moving down to 61 cents. We might be exiting this trade relatively soon if we keep going like this. If we get to 58, then that's where I would be looking to exit because we would have broken that pattern. We'll see what happens though. Really, it's a very low risk to have taken on this trade because we're only in it for a couple of cents to the downside if we do end up going there. It's looking like we might. I mean, this one's just getting crushed for whatever reason. I'm not sure what it could be. It's only been good news coming out for them as of late, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with NAKD. Looks like they're down 4.76%, so we'll see what happens with them. Let's see. Green light, red light says silver. And Amy Spar says, I was saying yes to Shiba being listed on Kraken. Yeah, okay, I gotcha. And FlexForce, great videos yesterday. I appreciate that, FlexForce. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I'm excited about some of those. NAKD included. I wish they were trading options for it. I would have loved to sell some put options on it, but they don't have options listed for NAKD, unfortunately, and I think we can check that here. NAKD, yeah, no options available for it. Would have loved some options. I would have loved to be selling some call options right now on the shares that I've got, but oh well. Oh well. And Rico asks, is PROG a good buy at this time? Potentially. I mean, we are bouncing up fairly strongly off of 3. That could be temporary. I will say it could be temporary. Oftentimes you'll see bounces off of these supports. So it would have been, if I was paying more attention, it might have been a better buy, around 304, right at the beginning of the pre-market, right around there, around 907 when we were starting the stream. But it already has pumped up a bit. We'll see. It could. I mean, it could be. It could certainly rise more, but there's no guarantee that it's going to do that. We'll have to see. With PROG, I think we're waiting until December 17th for more of the action to start up when we've got some more gamma squeeze potential going on, and we still really need to populate a lot of these call options. It looks like we've got some at 5 and 550, but we're still kind of lacking at these lower price call options: the 350s, the 4s, the 450s. So 37,000 at 750 or 35,000 at 750. It looks like Sundial's off to a good start though. But yeah, with PROG, there's no guarantee that we won't return to 3. Oftentimes, you bounce off of a support and then you play with it again. So Vivi Retta, good morning. And Moderna CEO going against everyone saying current backs will be good enough to fight Omni. Interesting. Well, Moderna stock has definitely gone up quite a bit. So Moderna stock is doing really well. mRNA. We'll take a peek at that. They're down 4% on the day. Maybe people didn't like hearing that news, but over the past year, they've gone from 139 to 352. So up quite a bit. Over the past 2 years, they've gone from $17 at their lows to $352. So, and yay, Sundial is green. Inflow, says Cheryl Stefan. Yeah, and Sundial is green on the charts as well. Look at that. Beautiful chart for Sundial. Beautiful start to the day. Starting to move up above 64 cents per share. This could be the beginning of something very nice for Sundial. And Tyler Mike, can Sundial announce a buyback anytime during market hours? I believe they can. Though I think that, institutions often wait until after the market hours to do that kind of stuff. A lot of the announcements, earnings and all that come after market hours. But, I think they could. I don't think there's a reason they couldn't. I don't think there's a law prohibiting that, but I think they oftentimes wait to announce things relevant to the company until after hours. I think that's typically how they do it, but Sundial getting a big red bar, pushing back most of the gains that we've seen thus far, so we're only up 0.3% on the day now. Sundial is a volatile one, and we're moving back down with it, so who's to say what will happen over the rest of the day? We have been getting pushed down for so long. But hopefully some buyers will step in. That's the tricky thing about the stock market. Everything can be looking really good, and then you get one big red bar or one big green bar that completely ruins your trading plan, depending on how you're playing it. So That's how it goes sometimes. That's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes it helps to be in with the insiders. If you can figure out what the insiders are doing, there are ways, I think, to look. And I've not actually tried doing it myself, but there are ways to look at what insiders are doing. Let's see. So let's see. I'm not finding anything here, but there is a place where you can find. There are a couple of sites actually. So let's see if this one's any good. No, that doesn't look useful. But there's a couple of sites that could potentially be good for looking at what insiders are doing. Okay, so here's one. Here's one that could be relatively decent. I think that you can look at the company, right? You can look for a specific company if you wanted. Let's just look at Sundial and see if there's anything for it. There might not be much. No, there's no insider trading on Sundial. All right. But we can take a peek at maybe Tesla. Maybe this will have something for Tesla. It should if Elon Musk is selling. So yeah, there we go. There we go. So looks like the last time he sold was the 23rd. And then on the 16th before that. All right, so a lot of Tesla selling. There hasn't been much Tesla buying. But, you know, that's understandable. That's understandable. The price has just been going up and up. So, interesting. Well, I'll take a peek at that site later on. But that's a potential way that you can look what insiders are doing. It looks like Sundial has turned red. Sundial is now red on the day. Whereas PROG is still green, up 6%. mRNA down 7%. So Moderna is suffering. Not sure why we're watching Moderna, but we are. Moderna is not doing very well. Might be on the CEO. I think it was it the CEO saying something about the saying something about the current vaccine being good enough to fight Omicron or whatever it is. Yeah, we'll see. And Tim Boone says, looks like we could have gotten NAKD cheaper. Yeah, we could have. That's the tough part about the markets. You never know what the bottom price is going to be. But yeah, we're sitting at around 61 cents, just below 61 cents. We'll see if we can pop up above that. We're down 4.62% on the day. Hopefully we maintain this pattern though, because it is a beautiful pattern that they've been working on for quite a while, and it would be a real shame to end it now. So hopefully they don't. Technically, if we're being really technical about it, the pattern doesn't end unless they go below 56 cents, come to think of it, because that's the previous low that we got to. So they wouldn't have necessarily broken out of their previous low. This could just be a continuation to the downside. You could, if you look at it that way, then it's yeah. You could look at it that way. I might be holding it below 58. We'll see. I might hold it a couple of cents further just to see if the pattern really holds. But who's to say? And so we've got some comments. So Eod Oklot says, should we consider adding Hexo? It's the price as before 81RS. So yeah, Hexo, I'll pull it up over Sundial real quick. Both cannabis stocks, we can replace one with the other, but Hexo is getting pretty darn cheap, especially if you look at the past 2 years. I mean, they're at all-time lows over the past 2 years, even before the big cannabis pump and before all the legalization hype. Hexo is getting pretty darn cheap. PROG is pumping up though. PROG is pumping up. Up from 332 on this part of 342. So anyone in PROG is making a little bit of money there. We'll see what happens with it. But yeah, Hexo, it could be a good buy, right? I'm in Hexo. I'm in a lot of the cannabis stocks, so I'm kind of taking the shotgun approach. I'm putting money in all the cannabis stocks because you never know which one is going to become the big kahuna and become the big dog on the street. A lot of people, try their best to pick out the one they think, and I'm the most bullish on Sundial and TLRY. I think that those two are the most promising. But with Hexo, it has some potential, right? It could be big, and we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Certainly at the all-time lows, it could be a decent pie, right? It could be. And Nicholas Morello says, Rob, electric vehicles will be, or Tyler Mike says, wouldn't a big after-hours announcement for Sundial create another gap, like with what happened after their positive earnings, that would create another downtrend to come back down and revisit? It could. Sometimes, yes, yeah, it certainly could do that. We'll take a peek at the Sundial chart. It definitely could. It's not necessarily the case that, announcing the buyback would shoot the stock price up as much as it got pumped up on the big earnings, because the big earnings had a lot of, right, this had the announcement as well that they were doing share buybacks at all for the first time people heard about it. After hours, if they did announce it, it could create another gap. Not all gaps get filled, but most of them do. So, it wouldn't be ideal. And you can see a couple of gaps even here, where we got a little gap up and then it got filled the day after. You can even see, I think, where was the last gap? Right here, where it gapped up and then proceeded to fill the gap in the following days. So yeah, definitely a lot of gap filling. The hope would be that, hopefully it wouldn't. Hopefully it wouldn't either create a gap. Hopefully, it might remain stagnant until market open, but we'll see. The company isn't necessarily worried about the technicals of the chart so much as they are about making sure that they're announcing it at a good time when we're in an uptrend. And if we are in an uptrend, then maybe the gap doesn't need to be filled. If we're already moving up strongly, which we definitely could be bouncing off of these lows and moving up strongly even without the announcement of a share buyback. We'll have to see, though. And Nicholas Morello says, Rob, electric vehicles will be the future. In the future, they will charge themselves and be the first version of a perpetual motion machine. Wow. I believe... So I believe is perpetual motion even possible? So perpetual motion is the motion of bodies that continues forever in an unperturbed system. A perpetual motion machine is a hypothetical machine that can do work indefinitely without an external energy source. This kind of machine is impossible as it would violate either the first or second law of thermodynamics or both. So I've had the idea for perpetual motion machines before, but my roommate, pretty smart guy, chemical engineer, says that they're not possible. I don't know if I believe him, but that's what the internet's saying as well. But we can take a peek right here. It says it's this kind of machine is impossible. I don't know. If EVs are going to be perpetual motion machines, then there's no real reason for them to be electric, is there? I don't know. But let's see. So insurance companies will So Silver says electric vehicles need another 10 years. I don't like cars on fire lately. There have been some. There have been some. So EV fires. I've definitely heard of it. I haven't heard about too many of them, but there seems to be a decent amount of EVs out there, and not too many fires. I'm not too worried about the fires, but it is a concern, right, that people have to think about. It's something people got to think about. So, who's to say if those EV fires are really going to be that big of a downside? There are quite a few EVs on the street, at least where I live. I see Teslas all over the place. So I'm not too worried about the fires, but some people definitely are. Some people are. And ask your insurance companies what their policy is on home fires from cars and charging systems causing fires. Very telling. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's true. Haven't thought about that. Yeah. And, not just that, but insurance on EVs is a very interesting thing, right? Because if you're EV, well, I'm more so not thinking of EVs, but autonomous driving, they just tend to be EVs that do it. But, say you have a self-driving car and it gets into an accident with someone, whose fault is it? Is it your fault? Is it the company that sold it to you's fault? Is it the software creator's fault that made the technology? I mean, it shouldn't necessarily be yours if you're the driver, because you're not driving the thing. I mean, once it gets to a level good enough where people say, all right, you don't need to pay too much attention to the road, you can just let the car drive yourself. If it then gets in an accident with someone, well, whose fault is it at that point? That's something I was just discussing with someone, and it's going to be interesting. I mean, maybe insurance is just going to foot the bill if the EVs are unlikely to get into accidents in the first place. That could be the case. And Lucid is doing good, up 1.85%. It looks like they've had a nice green day today. So that's good stuff. They're doing decently. And Ufuk says lithium-ion batteries are susceptible to explosion. Users don't have to worry about that. We'll see. And Silver says, exactly, Rob. Still infant stage of society. Yeah, I think that, there is probably some work to be done to figure out exactly how EVs and autonomous driving can be implemented in a safe and effective way. But I will point out, the metals are moving up. Gold is up today, up 1% on the day. And Barrick Gold as well is up. And silver, too. Silver's up over 1%. So silver and gold are doing quite well, mostly during the trading day itself, right? This didn't happen pre-market. This happened on pretty big volume at 9:45. So what happened at 9:45? This happened just recently. Who's to say? But 9:45, silver and gold both moved up in a pretty big way. So that's good to see. Good to see there. And Neo asks silver. Let's see what Neo is doing. Is it following in Lucid's footsteps? It is. It's up 1.94%. So let's see what Tesla's doing. Tesla's also up 1.89%. So all the EVs are moving up at the moment. That's good to see. I mean, how much longer this EV rally can last? That's tough to say. And technically, theoretically, that should be benefiting NAKD stock as well, right? Because NAKD stock, naked stock, is taking Centro Automotive public, an EV company. I think the statistic was the EV company, which has delivered more commercial EVs than anyone else. Let's find that. Let's find that and see if we can't pull up that statistic. So, let's see. So I think we've got it right here, and I'll pull it up real quick. All right. So this article came out November 8th, so a couple of weeks ago, but still, it should be relatively accurate. So Centro has sold and delivered more commercial electric vehicles than any other EV company, is what they say right here. And customers are estimated to have traveled more than 20 million miles in 26 countries in Centro EVs. So this is the company that NAKD stock, Naked Brand Group, is taking public. And right now it looks like they are on the rebound. So they're bouncing off of 60.7 cents, moving back up to 62 cents, which is where we got in. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on, what's going to happen with, the EV markets in general. But theoretically, NAKD stock should be moving up as well, because it's sometime later this year, at least that's what they've said, that they're going to be taking Centro Automotive public. So we'll see. I mean, you just don't have to worry about EV accidents will be dealt with by manufacturers or sellers, says Ufuk. Yeah, hopefully it will. I mean, as of right now, I think, if you're Tesla, which does drive itself, some of the time, if it gets into an accident while it's doing the self-driving, I think it's still the driver's fault at the moment. So we'll have to see how the laws change, if laws change, or if the manufacturers just offer to take up the liability. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And Chris WR, oh dear, if that Lucid candle closed above 56.2, could squeeze all kinds of green goo on Lucid. Let's see what happened with it. So we did not close above 56.2, but we're getting pretty close. We're getting pretty close. 56.20 is where we're looking to close above. That's where we are currently above it. It's 56.25. And it looks like we did close above 56.20. So we'll see what happens with it. We'll see what happens with it. And Jordan Israel Peterson says, whoever set the vehicle on autopilot. Yeah, I think that's who gets, that's who takes the blame at the moment. We'll see how that changes over time, though. We'll see if that changes. And Tyler Mike says over 13 million shares traded on Sundial already. So cool stuff. Good stuff. And he has risen, says AQST has the patents to oral film meds. FDA December 23rd. And now another price upgrade. Perfect storm to rocket. Yeah. Yeah. And I will point out, guys, something that's going on right now is we've got 91 viewers in the stream and 51 likes. So if we could pump that up, maybe if we could get another 10 or so likes, if we could get up to 60 or 65 likes, that'd be very appreciated. We certainly have the manpower and woman power to do it. We could definitely get up there. We're at 53 likes at the moment. And, if everyone hit the like button, we could actually get up above 93. It would be interesting to see if we could do that. But I understand some people are driving or, hopefully not driving and watching the stream. Hopefully just listening if you're driving. But some people are out enjoying their day and don't have the ability to actually hit the like button. Some people are watching on other platforms, right? They might be watching on their TV, and so understandable. We have gotten to 66 likes. So we're only 4 away from 70. We're only 3 away now. We're at 67 likes. We're only 3 away from 70. If you want to be one of the 3 people to hit the like button, we're at 69 likes. Let's keep it right there. Let's keep it there. Let's not go any higher. All right. And Pearl says, please hit the like button. I would appreciate it. But now we're at 69 likes. We might just stick there for the rest of the day. And Silver says, if it gets back to 50 cents, company will buy back. I think you're talking about Sundial. I think that's in response to Ufuk saying Sundial keeps going down. When it hits 61 cents, this will be the ultimate bottom. You think shorts might close their positions at this point? I don't know why shorts haven't closed them already. I mean, obviously, they're still making some money on it. They're still making some money. But they have a massive short position. I mean, I don't know what their long-term plan is with Sundial now that Sundial's making money. I don't know if they're planning on just keeping these short positions open perpetually. They do have to pay interest on these short positions to maintain them. I don't know how much lower they really think they can get Sundial to go, but it doesn't seem like too well thought out of a plan. Now that legalization is looming on the horizon, it really seems like we might be in a tough situation, or, that shorts might be in a tough situation now that everything seems to be going very well fundamentally for Sundial, right? They become profitable. They've got legalization on the horizon. They've got share buybacks planned for sometime this year, and or sometime in the next, I should say, 365 days, or less than that now, since they announced it a bit ago. But there's a lot of good stuff that Sundial has going for it. The Alkana merger should be going through at some point. I think it was this year that it was going to finish, or maybe it was early in 2022. Let's see, when is the Alkana merger? So, when will that happen? Transaction details, let's see. Okay, so expected to convene by Alkana in December 2021. I believe that's what it says. So, let's read this right here. When will the Alkana merger? And that's Alkana, by the way, is Canada's largest private liquor distributor. And they're a company that's being acquired by Sundial. So, requisite majority of the minority approval under multilateral. So it looks like, okay, the special meeting expected to convene by Alkana in December 2021. Okay. So I believe it should happen this year. I believe that by the end of December, hopefully that meeting will have happened, and they'll have convened and made their decisions about whatever they need to make their decisions about, and the meeting will go through, and they'll transition the Alkana shares into Sundial shares. So hopefully that'll happen sometime soon. Kinder and Gentler says Acorn sucks. Jack wasn't the only CEO that stepped down yesterday. I think something big is coming. Are there other I think, yeah, someone was mentioning another CEO. I forget who it was, but yeah, someone was talking about that. And FlexForce says, as a contractor, every new building in Ontario has to have a conduit to supply an EV vehicle charging station, and the panel in the house has to accommodate that spec as well. Interesting. Wow. So that is certainly good news. For that is definitely good news for EVs. You know, I mean, especially in Canada. And Rizvi says, what if Sundial comes out with alcohol-infused THC? I mean, they certainly could, as I believe THC is alcohol-soluble. So that would be relatively easy to do. That would be very easy to do. It could be a dangerous combination for a lot of people. You know, a lot of inexperienced people might try it for the first time thinking it's nothing and get destroyed by it. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. It could be a risky proposition, right? Giving people the mix right off the bat. But when you have Sundial, your money does not go to your shares. It goes into the naked shorts. What are your thoughts? Well, I mean, if the shorts are naked, then your money isn't necessarily going to the naked shorts, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't necessarily agree. I don't necessarily agree. I think that, you know, all in all, buying, you know, whether or not they're naked shorting, if they're naked shorting, then so be it, right? They're going to naked short, and that's going to push the price down, but buying isn't going to help them do that, especially if they're naked shorting. Then buying would only be a good thing for the stock price, right? Because instead of them naked shorting and there being more sell orders than there are buy orders and the price going down, at the very least, if you're buying at the same time, then you would be reducing the decrease in the price or keeping it stable. Or if you're out buying what they're doing selling-wise, then the price would even rise. So I don't know about that. I think that, you know, the naked shorts, we've got no control over. We certainly can't stop it. If they're doing that illegally, then they're going to do it, and there's nothing we can do. But we'll see. So, Kitchener Leslie, Rob, I bought some NAKD and CESDF yesterday. Nice, nice. NAKD, it looks like we might be on the way to a rebound if we can get up above 62 cents, which is where I bought in at 62 cents. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with NAKD. And what is CE? What was that other one that you said? CESDF. CESDF. Is that CS Energy Solutions Core? Interesting. So over the past year, it's done pretty good. Looks like a small market cap, if I had to guess. CESDF. So the market cap is 375 million. Not as low as I was thinking for something with this kind of a 5-day chart, you know? Looks pretty low volume, but interesting. Interesting buy. I mean, it could certainly do well if they I don't know what they're all about, but it could certainly do well if something goes right for them with that low of a market cap. This could pop. This could pop. And it looks like it's been much higher in the past. It's also been much lower. So midway buy you've got right here. Who's to say if it'll go up or down? It might be an oil company, and I mean, energy is a big deal right now for sure. Chess Melody, what's up? What's up? We're just enjoying the stream, having a good Tuesday. Hopefully everyone's making money. It looks like a lot of these stocks. PROG is up. Lucid is up. Sundial's down about 1%. You know, what can you do? NAKD is sitting around 62 cents where we're hoping it'll break past. So it looks like we're getting some volume right now, a little bit of volume at least. 125,000 shares. Maybe we can break past 62. We'll see. That's what we really want. We want NAKD to get past 62 and start using that as maybe a support. That would be nice. They used it as a support earlier in the pre-market right here, so we'll see if we can't do it. And Silver says, buddies are buying up local shops and creating gummies galore. Interesting. I like the CBD as I get older, says Silver. Growing up, I like THC. Yeah, I think that maybe that's a transition a lot of people make. I think those are two different kinds of highs, says Kitchen Leslie. Yeah. And I think that's in response to Whirls or Rizvi saying, what if Sundial comes out with alcohol-infused THC? Yeah, that would be kind of crazy. I don't know if they'll do it. I don't know who will be so bold as to do it. It looks like PROG is doing incredibly well today at 15%, a beautiful bounce off of 3. We'll see if they can maintain it the whole day, if they can continue going up. Because this could be good for them if they keep going up so much off of $3. I don't think there's any news that's come out. Oh. Okay. Okay, so they were granted a U.S. patent this morning, actually, for methods, systems, and compositions for countering nucleic acid molecules. Nice. So, new patent for PROG Stock, and looks like that didn't affect them too much in the pre-market when that actually came out, maybe a little bit. But in addition to the bounce off of $3, it looks like when the market opened, a lot of volume came in. People might have heard about the news, and they started moving up and up. So, good stuff. Good stuff. And let's see what we've got. So the ranking stocks, let's see what we got rank-wise on StockTwits. I like to check this from time to time. No, Shiba Inu is still number 1. And for those of you who haven't been taking a peek at Shiba Inu lately, that's because it's up about 31% on the day. So impressive. This is Shiba Inu. Yeah. So impressive stuff. Price change up 31% on the day, up 0.00001238 cents. So good stuff for Shiba Inu. It looks like it may have finally ended, with this metaverse news that they're going to be potentially making a metaverse game, and that Kraken has listed them. They are moving up about 30% on that. So maybe it's going to be the end of this downtrend that we've been experiencing. Maybe it will just be a bump in the downtrend. Let's hope not, though. Let's hope it continues rising. And Kitchenelsi says SDF stock is already up around 100% in the last 12 months. The consensus opinion of 10 analysts give the stock an upside of more than 90%. Wow. Yeah, so I mean, that's definitely, that's something to think about. With that low of a market cap, that could be a good buy, especially if analysts are expecting it to rise quite a bit. And at 10, actually. Okay, so at 10, let's take a peek at the SPY, because at 10, Fed Chair Powell should have started speaking. And it looks like we haven't had too much volatility since, but we have risen on that news. So it looks like the SPY is up a little bit. PROG doing incredibly well. And Sundial continuing this little downtrend, which I don't like. NAKD, we'll see if we can't break past 62. And Tim Boone holding 19 million of SHIB. Fingers crossed. Let's hope it goes up. And Kitchener Leslie can't handle the smoke, but can handle vaping much better. All right, nice. Yeah, I know there's yeah, I guess the smoke would be pretty harsh. I know it's harsher than cigarettes, that's for sure. Because I believe THC is a lung irritant, and not that it's bad for your lungs necessarily. I mean, obviously, who's to say? But I know that it irritates lungs at the very least, and the vape actually, depending on the type of vape, might have a more concentrated amount of THC in it. So you can build a resistance up to that, but but I'll get back to stocks. Enough of this drug talk. That's not what we're here to do. This isn't psych substance. But let's see if we can listen in potentially on Fed Chair Powell speaking. Let's see if there's a place where we can listen to this. There might be. So let's see. Speech. I think this would be testimony. Okay. So 11/30/2021. Let's see. I mean, we don't necessarily need to listen to it, but we'll see what happens in the SPY. It would be nice, maybe. I just don't know about the legality or the copyright laws around listening to this kind of stuff. I should figure that out, because I have not yet played anything on stream, any YouTube videos or anything like that. A bit too nervous to do it, because I'm not sure if that's against YouTube's terms of service if you start playing something like the Fed chair speaking at whatever conference, or I think it's a testimony, a hearing that he's at. But I'll look into it. I should figure that out. That would be a useful thing to know. I've tried looking into it. It's unfortunate that there isn't too much great information about what exactly is allowed and what's not. And Tim Boone says, I'm afraid if Sundial breaks below 61 cents, we are in for a bumpy ride. Let's hope it doesn't break below 61. I mean, that would be, that would be pretty darn bad for Sundial if they broke below 61. Looks like they are actually, though, hitting their all-time lows. I mean, it's crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. You can't make this stuff up. It looks like a while ago they might have been a little bit lower, just a touch lower. Where is that, though? Couldn't be more than 90 days ago. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, below 61.11, they were a touch lower, but we're pretty darn close to it. Maybe that'll be the place where we bounce off of big. We'll see. But it is disgusting how Sundial has just been pushed down so much over the past 10 days. Really gross. We were up at 94 cents after the good news on that earnings call. I think that's a much more justified valuation than 62 cents per share with how much cash they've got on the balance sheet. Crazy stuff to see them push down this low. But the shorts tend to have their way with stocks until a big enough group comes in and buys up enough shares like we've done with AMC and GameStop. But Abstract, good morning, man. Good to see ya. And you shouldn't play stuff like that. It's a slippery slope. Yeah, I'm worried about it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to look into it because who's to say? I know. Meet Kevin plays stuff like that sometimes. Like he'll play the news. He'll play the news sometimes. But man, it seems risky. I'd be worried. I mean, he must know the law better than me, but he probably has a lawyer who just tells him exactly what he can and can't play. And it looks like NAKD is really playing with 62 cents. This might be the bar that we get above it on, and that could be very good for them. If we can just break above 62, let's go. That's where my cost average is. So far, where it's at, I'm at 50 cents, but who cares? About 50 cents. We'll see if we can't make that a little bit more. And honestly, if there were options tradable for it, I would be buying much more heavily. I mean, these 1,000 shares is pretty much $600. Whatever. It's a little play right now. We'll see if we 60. I'll think about it. Everyone buying PROG now, $100 soon, says Alan C. PROG is up 14.8% on the day, off of a couple of things. One, news that they were granted a new patent for method systems and compositions for countering nucleic acid molecules. And two, a nice bounce off a technical support level at $3 right there, which has acted nicely for them in the past. You can see they're bouncing off of it pretty nicely. We've had the $3 line drawn for quite a while, and it was a beautiful bounce that they saw off of it. So it's looking like, maybe that'll continue. Maybe they'll return to it. We'll have to see. PROG is doing well, says NAK69, but will that bring my papa back into my life? I'm not sure about that. And Elena's dad, did PROG fill that gap at 297? It looks like they went down to 297. If that's what you were asking, was there a gap in PROG? So let's take a peek at the 1 year. So yeah, I think that that whatever gaps there were in PROG have been filled. So it's looking like the gaps have been filled. Whatever it was. So so shaking the apple tree before it grows. Sundial will come back. Fingers crossed. I hope so. I think Sundial should. It certainly should. Currently sitting at 62.8, but we'll see. We'll see what happens during the rest of the day. It's really not ideal that it's been pushed down by shorts so much. But we'll see what happens with it. I'm confident in it over the long term. I'm not too worried about the short term fluctuations. I'd prefer if it wasn't so manipulated, but that means there's more profit in the future potentially, right? If Wall Street bets and Reddit really sink their teeth into it, they might realize this is a big short squeeze opportunity. A whole lot of shorts in Sundial and good fundamentals starting to back it up. In the past, you could have made an argument that the fundamentals weren't quite there. They were losing money. After this most recent earnings call, you can't say that anymore. So I will be right back, guys, real quick. Bathroom break. I've been drinking too much coffee. So excuse me 1 second. I'll be right back. Hold tight. Okay, here we are. We have returned. All right, so not much has changed. It looks like, if anything, Prague has been taking a slight breather, right? It's moving down just a touch, bouncing off of around 360, 365, somewhere around there. We're at 354 at the moment. So we've got some comments coming in. So Liz Betty Gonzalez says Funware, PHUN. We'll see what's going on with Fun. At the moment, it's down a bit. It's down to $3. Maybe we'll get a nice bounce off of 3 on Funware as well. We'll have to see. It's been downtrending for a bit. It's been tough for Funware, even despite Funcoin coming out. It's been tough for them. So let's see. Over the past 90 days, what's been going on? Yeah, they have just been downtrending, as has I believe DWAC. Let's see what happened with it. So it's sitting around 42. Sitting around 42. All right. Not the worst day. Not the worst day for DWAC, but PHUN down 4%. Really not ideal. I think that people maybe wanted it to get down to $3 to see, is it going to break? Is it going to hold? That psychological support. We'll see. We'll see what it does. Hopefully it will hold. Looking at PHUN options, let's see if there's any interesting options that are tradable. So 350 calls, you could be buying or selling. You could also be selling the 350 or the $3 puts if you wanted to get into it in about half a month. So these are relatively expensive premiums. What's on the 31st of December? 23rd. Yeah, the 31st. That would be about a month out. So you could be making some money on PHUN options. Actually, not bad deals on these options. Granted, the company was trading around $1 before the big pump up, so maybe that's closer to a justifiable valuation for a lot of people. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with PHUN. If they get some good news, some good catalysts coming in for them, then they could certainly be doing decently. But it's tough to say. It's tough to say where they will go. The 250 puts even are somewhat expensive, so you could be making a little profit on those as well, especially if you get a good sale, a good bid coming in above 20 cents. That'd be nice. All right. So let's see. What are people saying? Silver says, no one wants to run a company when a macroeconomics downturn rules for next 2-3 years, like paddling a boat upstream. Yeah, that's true. It's been a while since we've had a big downturn, though. It's been quite a while. We'll see what happens with it. I don't know. We may have just printed enough money that we won't be seeing a downturn for a bit, right? If there's just so much cash around, then why would we have a downturn if people have cash to buy up stocks with? So, Worlds Risby, SafeMoon, and MetaHero, and Sundial, my top favorites. Abstract says SHIB, Doge, and Sundial for me. Nice. Looks like, if you're in SHIB, then you're up quite a bit today. In case you haven't noticed, it's up 31% on the day. On the news, first off, they're getting involved in the metaverse. I think it's rumors right now about a Shiba Inu game that is on the metaverse. And then the Kraken listing. They got listed on Kraken today, so they also pumped up on that news. So a couple of things moving up Shiba Inu, which is why they're up 31.68%. And Dogecoin, let's see what Doge is doing. Dogecoin is up 2.63%, so you're making money. Abstract. Nice. And Worlza in SafeMoon. I have not looked at SafeMoon in a bit. I am curious about it. SafeMoon is down 0.71%. Over the past month, it's not been kind to holders, but I believe the way it works is that you'll be gaining more coins, right, just from holding it. Don't you get more SafeMoon coins? Just, the more people who buy and sell, you build up your account just by holding. Isn't that the idea behind SafeMoon? So that's pretty cool. And Kitchener Lizzie says, if DWAC hits $30, I'm buying a bunch of warrants. Let's see what the warrants are at. The warrants might be getting pretty cheap. So the warrants are selling for $13.51. So, yeah, this is near the cheapest we've seen them. The lowest, I think, is close to $12. But Let's see what we've done over the past 90 days. So yeah, we were with the warrants, we were at highs of $79. That was very brief though. For a decent amount of time, they traded above 20. We were only recently fell below that. So yeah, there is some money to be made in the warrants if we see a big rebound in DWAC price. And Abstract says my SafeMoon hasn't been great to me. I don't own a lot though. Yeah, I was always curious about SafeMoon. I don't have I think whatever exchange you need. I don't have an account there to buy the SafeMoon, but it did seem promising because if you bought some, then you would get payout in SafeMoon every time there were transactions, and it seems like that would over time just become a massive amount of SafeMoon that you accumulate. So I don't know. I could really see benefit to holding it long term, but we'll see. Looks like it's had a couple of runs up, and it ran up more recently also, but we'll see. And some of it doesn't it get burnt to every transaction, so I think that's pretty cool. That a lot of it gets burnt. That a lot, if I'm understanding SafeMoon correctly, if it still works as I understand it, I'll look it up real quick how SafeMoon works, and I'll move the chart up here for a second too. So, let's see. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So it's not that money in SafeMoon is burnt. 5% goes to reflection rewards, which I believe is people holding it. Okay, wait. Okay. Here we go. Third component is the token burn that occurs on each trade. Nowhere in the white paper or the rest of the site does it clarify the percentage of each transaction that gets burnt. It only says that transactions are taxed at a 10% fee that is split two ways. 5% goes to reflection rewards, and that, I believe, means that it is split between everyone who is holding SafeMoon. So if you're holding a bunch, you get more of it, and if you're holding a little bit, you get less of it. But still, 5% of every sale of SafeMoon goes to reflection rewards, and 5% to liquidity pools. So in the liquidity pools, 2.5% of the 5% is converted to Binance Coin to ensure the liquidity of SafeMoon and the Binance Coin pair. It doesn't say what the other 2.5% does, but it's supposedly burning them. It says there's been 416 trillion coins burned or something crazy, some massive number. Jeez. So yeah. It could be not a bad coin to get in on. Where can you trade it, guys? Where do you trade SafeMoon? Where have you guys been buying SafeMoon? I am curious to get in on it. I do like the idea of just buying into something that you get more and more of over time. That sounds very nice to just hold. So, if anyone has any advice on brokerages or, no, not financial advice on brokerages to use, let me know in the comments. I'd be very curious to hear it. SafeMoon has its own wallet. I bought some on PancakeSwap. SafeMoon on Trust Wallet. Interesting. See, I'm not as well versed in crypto. So, if you just make these wallets, let's see, Trust Wallet. To a MetaMask wallet. Interesting. So, I don't know. How do you buy it then? I guess you get Trust Wallet and link to PancakeSwap. Okay, so you need PancakeSwap. See, I've not bought any of these stranger cryptos. I've mostly, and Sundial taking a beating right now. But I've mostly just bought the stuff, if you can buy it on Webull or Robinhood or Coinbase even, I could buy it. But those are the places I've bought. I think you can buy on Coinbase now too. Really? On Coinbase. Let's see. Let's see what we can do here if we can't search for something on Coinbase. Come on, Coinbase. What a horrible site. I already have a Coinbase account. I just want to look at the Coinbase charts though. All right, we've got to sign in somehow. I don't want to deal with Coinbase right now, but I'll just look up, can you buy SafeMoon on Coinbase? Okay. Looks like you can't as of right now. I don't think you can. I think you can see the price on Coinbase, but I don't think you can buy it. So here it is. Here you can see the price, but I don't think you can buy it. I think that you'd need to. You can't even really see the chart of the price for some reason. I must not have. So SafeMoon is not supported by Coinbase. It says it right there. All right, so there you go. Not supported, but you can see the price. So interesting stuff. I would like to maybe get in on that, do some crypto buying, some strange altcoins. I'd consider that. And Abstract says I haven't gotten any notification about SafeMoon on Coinbase. Yep. So you got to use PancakeSwap. The whole thing was stressful for me. Yeah. You need to buy BNB coin to buy SafeMoon. Really annoying process. Yeah, it sounds really annoying. I'm sure that if it got listed on any major exchanges, then I'm sure its price would move up massively due to it. Maybe not guaranteed, but it certainly seems like it should if it becomes a lot easier to buy. I know there's a lot of people who would probably be interested in getting it, so. And need an agent. When I bought it, it took about 20 minutes to figure out. I can show you how I did it if you have the time. I might be down for that sometime. We'll see. I might be interested in doing it. It sounds a little sketchy buying it on PancakeSwap with Binance Coin. I don't know. I've not done that yet. I've not gotten too into the alt crypto coins, but I might do it at some point. I've watched some, Bia Hayes that posts videos on it every now and then, so I'm not a complete novice, right? I understand at least what the process might look like a little bit, but I might do it. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. It does sound kind of promising. I like the idea of SafeMoon, though a lot of people have talked about it being like a pyramid scheme, basically. But I don't think so. I mean, kind of, right? With the sense that SafeMoon is only meant to go up, and that you're just essentially buying it from other people who just want it to increase in value. Then, and Nick Hood says there's a huge SafeMoon community to help you if you need. You need to buy BNB, then exchange it for a chain link, then send it to PancakeSwap and set your slippage to 12% and exchange chain link for SafeMoon. You lose money on the whole process. Yeah. Wow. Jeez. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll do it then. I that's right. I forgot about the fees. There are probably a bunch of fees associated with it. Yeah. So Rich M says hit your like button. Silver says liked, subscribed, belled up. And Cheryl Steffen says, anyone who hasn't hit like, do so now. Yeah, that would be appreciated, actually. In fact, we're 6 likes away from 90 likes. So if anyone wants to be one of the 6 people to like the stream to get us up to 90 likes, that would be appreciated. But, no pressure if you don't want to do it. And Kitchener Leslie says, I'm new to stocks. That's enough for me right now. I'll learn crypto later. Yeah. And Nick Hood says, you don't have to set it to 12%. DWAC is creeping up, says Maria G. We're looking at DWACW, but yeah, DWAC is starting to move up 1% on the day. What's NAKD doing? It looks like we had another little dip on NAKD, which we have rebounded from, so hopefully we'll get back up above 62. It looks like it's acting as a little resistance for us right now, but we'll see. Set 0.000 after amount you're buying. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll look at it. I'll look into it a little bit. It does sound somewhat promising. Where's the like on my phone? Says Christopher Frank. I have no idea. My phone usually just shows it at the bottom. Like if you have the phone in vertical, it usually just shows the like button. But I don't know. I don't buy BSC tokens because of my experience with SafeMoon, says Abstract. Yeah, it sounds like if there's a lot of fees, then it might not be for me, but we'll see. And DWAC news, I don't believe that there's any news today. Not that I know of, at least. I don't think there's any news necessarily. I think we're still just waiting for some, maybe Trump to speak about it, or potentially the truth beta one. Did that come out? I don't think it did. So, looks like it's not up quite yet. The beta isn't up quite yet, it looks like. But it's supposed to be sometime in November 2021, and it looks like we're already at the 30th. So they say today's the last day if they were going to stick to their original schedule. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with the true social beta, if that gets put up at some point. Maybe it will. And Rico Aguilar says, yes, like this channel, Rob is working hard. I appreciate that. And Shen Shihao says, I bought Sundial, buy more today. Nice. Yeah, I mean, Sundial, it's just becoming a better and better value every day. It just gets pushed down to a cheaper and cheaper price, and it just becomes better and better to buy, in my opinion, over the long term. And Vivi, each day is closer to 30 days from when Trump filed. Abstract says, I started with $50 and was only able to buy $19 worth of SafeMoon. Jeez. Have you noticed, Abstract, if when you were buying the SafeMoon, do you now have more SafeMoon tokens because of those rewards than you initially bought? Is that the case, that the amount of tokens you've had has actually increased? Because that's the cool part of SafeMoon, I think, that you get that 5% reward of every sale. It gets split between everybody who holds SafeMoon. I think that's pretty cool. And Silver says, after 30 days, it legally rolls over no matter what Senator Warren tries to pull with the SEC. And Kitcher Leslie says, Twitter is going into receivership to Trump. Interesting. I've about 1 million more coins, says Abstract. Nice. That is cool. That is very cool that you just get more by holding it. So really cool. Makes me kind of want to get in on it, just because it seems like the kind of thing where it would be nice to hold for a couple of years as long as the value doesn't completely erode. So since May, you've gotten about 1 million more coins. Interesting. Well, yeah, it seems like the kind of thing that over the course of a couple of years could be good to hold. I could see it really, especially if it gets listed on the major exchanges. I think people would be big fans of it. If it was a little bit easier to buy, I could see people becoming very big fans of this thing that gives you more of it just for holding and tax as sellers. I could definitely see this becoming pretty big. It already has some recognition as SafeMoon. A lot of people certainly were talking about it when it first came up, when it first came out. So I could see that being a very good buy for you, Abstract. Even though it has lost a bit of value and you got taxed when you bought it, looks like they made you pay some stuff. I could see it being a good buy. I would like to get in, but Nick Hood says, I've accumulated around 20 million SafeMoon since around May. Nice. And Gordo says, in the future, coins are going to be a lot like credit cards with rewards and complex functions. And Abstract says, I'll hold SafeMoon forever. Nice. Hopefully it goes up. And NAKD stock. Hopefully NAKD stock goes up too. The SPY, it looks like, has been moving around. It's been a little volatile during Powell's meeting. I don't know if it's over yet or what, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. But you can see right here on the bottom right chart that SPY around 10 started moving up, then it moved down, now it's up again. So who knows what Powell's saying? But we're not listening to it. But it might be important stuff. In the future, coins are going to be a lot like credit cards with rewards and complex functions, says Gordo. Yep, we read that already. And Silver says, Twitter and Facebook changing current designs gets me excited for DWAC. And Kitchener Leslie says, me too. Surf's up, it looks like. Is that a surfboard? Yeah. And Whirls a Riz fee says, let me send you $50 in SafeMoon for your hard work. Unfortunately, I've got no crypto wallets or anything crazy like that. I just have a Webull and a Robinhood. I would appreciate it, though, but I don't think it's possible at the moment. And what's the meeting about, says Nick Hood. Here, I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up right here. So, right here, we can see the meeting. Federal Reserve Jerome Powell is to testify on the economic outlook and recent monetary policy actions before the Joint Economic Committee in Washington, D.C. The testimony is in two parts. The first is a prepared statement. Then the committee conducts a question and answer session. The Q&A portion of the testimony can see heavy market volatility for the duration. So there you go. That's what Fed Powell we'll be talking about. And Worlds Rizvi says download the SafeMoon wallet. Maybe I'll look into this. I will definitely look into it off stream because it does sound something very promising. So I appreciate that, Worlds. I will definitely look into the SafeMoon wallet. I was unaware that they had a SafeMoon wallet. I thought it was just you know, you had to download like Trust Wallet or something like other people were saying, but interesting stuff. Here's the SafeMoon site. Interesting. So I'll pull up the SafeMoon site. Safe out now. SafeMoon wallet. Get it on App Store. Wow, that's cool stuff. That is very cool. That's really cool stuff. So I guess it is just a little app. Hopefully it's a safe app. And you're welcome, Nick Hood. You're welcome. And Kitchener Leslie says, I have this weird feeling we're going back onto the gold standard. That would be very good. That would be very good for gold stocks. Probably very good for you know, the stability of the dollar. And SafeMoon is working on an exchange. And NJ said, thank you for the super chat, NJ. And says, on your phone, X out of the live chat. You'll see the like button, Rob. Anyway, set notifications in AM for broadcast. Always miss the first few minutes. Does it not notify people? I could have sworn that I had notifications turned on. Let me see. I could have sworn that it sent out. I don't know if there is, if it doesn't send out notifications automatically. I'll look into it tomorrow. I'll see if maybe I just had the notifications turned off. I'm not sure. Although I think that potentially for live streams, you know, this is my miss on this, right? I should probably be doing a little bit better with this, but I think that for live streams, potentially the way it works is since I'm scheduling the live stream, you have to actually click on the live stream, you know, before it plays, which is kind of impossible because I schedule it a couple minutes before I start it, just so that I can reuse the settings. And then you have to click the notification bell every time on your own. I think that might be the case. But I will see if I can. I mean, obviously, you know, YouTube isn't going to give me too much to control to force notifications onto everyone if they haven't signed up for them for a live stream. But there should be a way to sign up for notifications. I don't know. You might, if you haven't already, then I think, let me pull up YouTube. But I think there should be a notification bell next to the subscribe button. So maybe that only works for videos, though. I don't know. I'll look into it, though, NJ. I will look into that. I wasn't aware. I thought it was sending out notifications, but I'm not subscribed myself. I can't do that, so I wouldn't know. So Silver is saying, he's going to say we are waiting for more data. We are beginning our plans of scaling back buying. We are on a solid foundation period last year. Yeah, that sounds like something Fed Powell would say. I'm getting killed by CLOVE. 585, can you get your latest insight on CLOVE? Says Big Milkshake Trading. Let's take a peek at CLOVE. You know, I have some CLOVE in the long-term account. So yeah, we are definitely moving down on CLOVE. It's been hitting all-time lows today even. And you know, it's tough to say how far this one will fall. It looks like not a great earnings call set us off on this track downwards. But CLOVE for me is a long-term play. I think that you know, over the next couple of years is what I'm worried about with CLOVE. That's why it's in the long-term account. I'm not worried about it spiking right now. I think there are a lot of shorts in CLOVE stock at the moment. Let's see. Clover Health, short interest. So there's a decent amount of shorts. It looks like some of them have been getting out over the past couple of months. Not all that many, but CLOVE is at 9.92% short interest as a percentage of the free float, 27.29 million shares short. So shorts definitely want CLOVE moving down a little bit further, at least before they take profits on it. But looks like, yeah, we've been on a big downtrend over the past 30 days. But if you said 585 is where you got in, then you're not all that far down, it looks like. So not bad, not bad. And Rob, the notification shows up right at 9 a.m. There's a way to set it to send notifications ahead of time, or maybe just hold off important info for the first 5 minutes. Love the channel, bro. Okay, so I see the notification shows up right at 9 a.m. I gotcha. So I gotcha. So you'd like it to come out a couple minutes before. Yeah, I could do that. I could probably figure out how to do that. Maybe if I schedule the stream. So there is a notification. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. And you always miss the first few minutes. Yeah. I try not to say anything. I will say I try not to say anything too important because I realize that at the beginning there's only a couple of people in there, and if I do say something important in the first couple of minutes, I'll always come back, like 10, 20 minutes later and say, by the way, guys, I know for any of you who've been watching since the beginning, I've said this already, but we've got some new people in here. So typically, if there's something really important, I will say it multiple times. That's something. I'll even say something important multiple times just throughout the stream because I realize that, there's people flowing in and out, and half the people watching right now probably weren't watching, 40 minutes ago. They're probably just got in the past 30 or 40 minutes. So, we've got some people who stick through the whole thing, but other people they're filtering in and out. Maybe they have some place where they have to be in the morning, and they've just got a couple of minutes. So, for sure. Silver says they're going first on crypto coin backing with gold. China Digicoin. Is that what you're talking about, Silver? Jeez. I've not heard of China Digicoin. China Digicoin. Okay, China has given away millions in its digital yuan trials. This is how it works. Interesting. All right, let's take a peek at this. When did this article come out? March 4th of 2021. Okay, so this came out a bit ago. This came out a bit ago. So, the People's Bank of China has been developing the digital yuan, a so-called central bank digital currency that aims to replace some of the cash in circulation. China has already started real-world trials for this digital currency in a number of cities, including Shenzhen, Chengdu, and Zhou. All right. And the digital yuan could increase competition in China's mobile payment market, which is dominated by Ant Group's Alipay and Tencent's WeChat Pay. So, China is arguably leading the world developing a national digital currency, a project it has been working on since 2014. Okay. So, it will be legal tender in China and no interest will be paid on it. The use of cash is decreasing. Eventually, cash will be replaced by something in digital format. This is one of the big drivers behind this, says Yan Xiao, project lead for digital trade at the World Economic Forum. That's what he told CNBC at least. So, the Chinese market is already very advanced in cashless payments. The digital yuan would be a great way to speed that process up. Unfortunately, it seems like this will give China a lot of insight into what people are doing with their money. If there's no cash, then there's no way to do, say, illegal transactions. So it could overall, it's not necessarily a cryptocurrency. They make sure to call it the digital yuan. So it seems like China hits it seems like China has a lot of control over it. So we'll see if that's going to be any good. I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting at the very least, but it seems like it might not be the best for the people in China or the people who China might control one day. So Stephen Pont says to hit the like in your phone, X out of the live stream, then you should see the like button on your left side. Yep, I believe that. Oh, that's true. I wasn't thinking about on the phone, the chat. Yeah, you see the chat sometimes, and that covers up the like button. So Silver says China is transforming from manufacturer society to consumer, much like the USA did after the Industrial Revolution. Manufacturing will return to nations. That would be nice. That would be good. I know Jocko Willink is working on manufacturing in the U.S., so that's good to see. He's making boots and jeans, I believe, and not jock straps. He's making something for jiu-jitsu, so I forget what it is, but he's making a bunch of stuff. Jocko Willink, if any of you guys have heard of him, he's been on Joe Rogan a couple of times. So, he's a good guy. He's bringing manufacturing back to the U.S. He's showing it's possible to do. And it's certainly helping out right now that the shipping costs are so high, right? He's really benefiting from that because shipping costs have gotten to such a point where it's almost more affordable, I believe, to just produce the stuff here if you've got the machinery to do it. So that's good for him. He's doing pretty good with that. Jeez. Some of these stocks on stock are on Reddit. If you scroll down a little bit, you can see Twitter up, It was getting no mentions on Reddit. That's up 11,500% mention-wise. Not to that many mentions, right? 116. So it looks like there's probably just one beforehand, but crazy stuff. Up a bunch. And still continuing to rise today, as opposed to yesterday. So a lot of Twitter-related talk, a lot of Twitter-related chatter on Reddit. People are talking about Disney. People are talking about Microsoft, Moderna, AMD. If you guys were watching AMD, you would have seen that they made new highs not that long ago. Even today, actually, it looks like more new highs, more all-time highs from AMD at 164.46. The first stock I ever bought was AMD, and boy, do I wish I'd held it. That would have been nice. And I like space stocks, boom after 2024. Keep eyes on bargains next year's. Yeah, space stocks, SPCE. That's one that we've watched a bit, but it has been declining quite a bit. And let's see, actually. A good potential way to get into these space companies might be looking out at some relatively far out strike dates. If you're expecting it to boom in 2023, then potentially what you could do is sell some put options on it, maybe a $15 strike price. You get a big premium for 2023. If you're expecting them to go up in 2024, then you're getting space for $10.20 if you sell the $15 put for $4.80 right there. So potential deal. And if the stock just goes up now, well, then you just get the 480. But at least you have the option to get in over the course of, it's about a year out, a year and a month or two, a year and 60 days or something like that, year and 50 days maybe. So not a bad return on your investment, right? It's going to cost you about $10.20 to open up that trade, and max profit of $5, or you could get it cheap. You could get it cheap if it ends below 15. So not bad. And Madix says got in Sundial at 63.27 yesterday. Right now it's at 62.61, so down a little bit, but not a bad buy considering where a lot of people were getting in Sundial. I was getting in when it was like 19 cents, but a lot of people may have bought in at 90 cents, 80 cents, 70 cents, which all of those people I think will eventually be making money on Sundial stock once this big downturn ends and we start moving up again once they get their share buybacks going, especially once we get legalization. I think that's really going to pump the thing up. It could be really good news for Sundial when that comes out, price-wise at least. I think they'll be moving up a ton. And Silver says, I think money movers want to drop markets more so they can cover at very nice lows from current levels. Yeah, I think that I think a lot of people who are shorting the market definitely want it to drop more. And Abstract says AMD, the processor company, that's the one. That was the first stock I ever bought years and years ago. Bought it for like 10 or 12 bucks and sold it for like 20 something, but now it's at 164 per share. So, the AMD, the processor company, that's the one. Thought I was really smart selling it at 20 bucks per share. I mean, it was still a profit, but Tyler Mike says Hexo is going to join Sundial on Pennyland. Maybe Sundial will buy Hexo. That would be great for Sundial with all Hexo's drink products. That would be good. I would not mind that at all if Sundial consolidates a little bit. If they consolidate some of the cannabis market under them, that would be very good. The more they can get, I think it's all really cheap right now before legalization. I think it's all a little undervalued. So, if they can grab up some more cannabis-related companies, I think that would only serve to benefit them. And Silver says buys at 58 and 60 would be nice. Yeah, those would certainly be getting to be very good buys, right? Those would be extremely cheap buys. We'd be looking at all-time lows since the pump up, right? Over the past year, I think that would be the all-time low. No, 42 cents would be the all-time low, but if we can get to January 20, if we can get past January, then that would be an all-time low. We would be at, or very close to at least all-time lows if we could get into February at least. We would be. Looks like as of February, it started trading above $1. So, anything lower than 61 cents would be an all-time low for Sundial stock. All right, well, let's hope it doesn't go that far. I hope it doesn't. It's true that it just becomes a cheaper buy, but I would really like to see it start moving up. And building up product line, CGC Shakeup CGC, what's happening with them today? Canopy Growth. Canopy Growth is down 3.44%, similar to Sundial. TLRY also down to about $10. So TLRY is getting pretty darn cheap too. We're going to see how low these can go. Hopefully not too much lower. It would be very nice to see TLRY bouncing off of 10 again. It's what they've done in the past. They have found support at $10. So we'll have to see. And Silver says CGC down about 3.45%, it looks like, on the day. Still, all these cannabis stocks just continuing the downtrend. It looks like this earnings call saved them for a couple of days. It looks like it was a beat. So not bad. A lot of the cannabis companies doing better than people were expecting, but it wasn't enough to save the companies overall. Still moving down, all the cannabis companies, and executives getting moved out. Interesting. So Capital downgrades Canopy Growth to sell from neutral, just price target to $12 from 25. That's what happened this morning, actually. 8 Capital downgraded Canopy Growth. And on the 29th, so yesterday, Kentucky lawmaker pre-files marijuana legalization bill for 2022 session. All right. Okay, so there's good news and there's bad news. And then also, if you guys were listening to the stream yesterday, you heard Florida lawmaker files bill to decriminalize all currently illicit drugs. So interesting stuff at the very least. We're going to see what passes. That doesn't seem like the kind of thing that would pass, but who knows? It might not. That would be very cool, though, if it did. It would be very interesting to see. I mean, I know they've done it in Oregon, and it doesn't seem to have backfired all that much. Evening, all. Oh, Eric, is it? I guess you might be in a different time zone. Yeah, good night. Good night if you're heading to bed or just heading out for dinner or whatever. I'll see you later, Eric. But let me look up Oregon. Their legalization of drug decriminalization. So let's see. Oregon's pioneering drug decriminalization experiment is now facing the hard test, and this came out June 18th. This is a somewhat old article. Last fall, Oregon voters decriminalized possession of small amounts of almost all hard drugs, taking a groundbreaking step away from the arrest, charge, and jail model for possession that's been a centerpiece of American drug policy since President Richard Nixon declared his war on drugs 50 years ago this week. Oregonians overwhelmingly passed Measure 110 that makes possession of small amounts of cocaine, heroin, LSD, and methamphetamine, among other drugs, punishable by civil citation akin to a parking ticket and a $100 fine. That fee can get waived if you get a health screening from a recovery hotline. Nice. All right, so let's see. Support for decriminalization comes with concerns about implementation. All right. So I wonder how it's been doing thus far, though. That's not really answering what I was looking for. So let's see. How has it been doing thus far? Okay, here's another article. So Oregon's drug decriminalization may spread despite unclear results. So it's unclear. It looks like, at least this article is claiming that it's unclear how it's done policy-wise, if it's been a good policy or bad policy. But yeah, that's true. This article is also mentioning that we're in the middle of two things. We're in the middle of COVID and a workforce exodus, so a lot of weird stuff is going on in society regardless. A lot of people might be turning to drugs as an escape. That's something that people talked about during all the lockdowns. An abstract, my computer has a Ryzen 3, runs really good. Yeah, I think that, yeah, the Ryzen 3, I think I used to have. I don't know what I use now. I think I use NVIDIA. So I do prefer NVIDIA for games. I think it's nice to have the GeForce drivers. But AMD was good to me when I had it, when I used it. And Eric says, did you go for NAKD? They go at pretty low price now. Yeah, down to 61 cents. I bought at 62, so that's when I ended up getting in. I just got 1,000 shares, not all that many. So down $8 on that position right there. But as long as it doesn't drop below 56 cents, it's holding to the pattern of making higher highs and higher lows. So we'll see where this one goes. So I did go for NAKD. We'll see if this one turns into something big. It's been playing with 62 cents a couple of times today. It used it as support in the pre-market right here, and then it used it as resistance in the trading day around here, and even here I would count that. So we'll see what happens with it, but it does seem like a promising one, especially with all the EV hype. And Jay Berger says PROG. Yeah, it looks like PROG is selling off a bit. So it did pump up, and it got to 364. Those were the highs. It's been selling off since. We're going to see. I mean, this is the zone that it first pumped up to around 325 is nice little support for them that they just couldn't fall beneath a couple of times. There were quite a few bars that hit 325 and they weren't able to fall beneath it. So they're getting close now. We're going to see if they can do it. But hopefully they will continue to rise. That's the hope for PROG stock. And canopy growth is not looking too hopeful, right? It's moving down. The cannabis stocks, unfortunately, another red day for cannabis. So, what else is new, right? They've been getting beaten down for a long time. I'm not too worried about it. I think it just makes them cheaper. It's just a better buying opportunity. We'll see what they're at tomorrow. But over the long term, the price now doesn't really matter that much, other than how cheap you can get them. So PROG is almost back to where I bought it at, says Kitchen Leslie. Nice. Yeah, are you up or down on that? So that could mean two things. It could mean two things. So yeah, they've had a nice bounce off of 3. Hopefully they won't move below 3, despite it looks like they might be returning to that level to play with it again. Maybe they'll maintain themselves at 325. We'll see. I bought in at 377, says Jay Berger. Nice. So you're not that far off. You're about 47 cents away from your purchase price, and we almost got there earlier today. And CVS closing stores next 3 years, shaking off stores in bad areas, anti-smash and grab strategy. Interesting. Yeah, CVS. I got one near my house, so it's convenient having. It's right across the street from a Walgreens too. And Vivietta, could you please look into LGVN? I will take a peek. LGVN. So Longeveron, we have been looking at this one. This is the FDA approval for, what was it? What did they get approved for in the FDA? Rare pediatric disease designation from Lomicel B. All right, so that's what pumped them up initially, I think that's what pumped them up. Yep. So they got that announcement on the 22nd. They moved up a bunch off of that news to highs of 45. They bounced off of 45 a couple of times, and now we're waiting to see where they'll bottom out now that they're on a little bit of a downtrend. Potentially $15 could be another bottom for them, another place because they saw some support at 15 last time after the initial pump up. We could see them bounce off of 15 again. Hopefully we do. It's not a guarantee, but that could be nice for them. We'll see. I mean, we'll take a peek at the short interest too. I know that this is a short squeeze play for a lot of people, but I think that a lot of the shorts did get in when it pumped up massively, a decent amount of them at least. All right, this is interesting. So on LGVN, we are experiencing more shorts coming in today, 6.3% increase. 80% of the free float is short 2.18 million shares, so it doesn't seem like all that many. But if it's 80% of the free float, then it's quite a bit. And I believe Longeveron is a relatively low market cap stock. So this could be good for them, right? If you're looking to get in on the long term, well, they have traditionally been trading much cheaper, but they just got FDA approval for, FDA designation for their Lomicel B for the treatment of hypoplastic left heart syndrome. So, if you're a doctor and you understand what that means, it could be really good for them. I'm not sure how widespread of an issue that is, how much of a price it justifies, but it could be good. We'll just have to see with LGVN what happens with it. It looks like they are on a little bit of a downtrend right now. Maybe 15, though, could be a place to bounce off if that's where they've done it in the past. Maybe $20. That's the psychological level. And Tim Boone, help me out, Rob. How can Sundial sell down so low? How can anyone be making money at this price? And why didn't they sell when it was higher? So how can it sell down so low? Well, I think that, obviously shorts are definitely responsible, at least in the beginning, for starting this downwards rally. So a lot of people We're hoping that Sundial would continue running up when it was hitting around this 80-cent, 90-cent level. A lot of people were buying into it, thinking that it would run up. And a lot of these sales, a lot of people selling right now, are selling, I will say, a lot of them are probably selling for a loss, right? A lot of them are getting scared out of the stock. It's exactly what shorts want. They want to push the price down to encourage people to sell because they get worried that it'll drop more. And, that's for the paper handsers. I think, if you're not thinking about the long term, if you're just thinking about short-term trade, well, maybe it didn't go according to plan and you want to sell out of it, then fine. That makes sense. Obviously, I'm not recommending anyone do anything. It's not financial advice for me. I'm just saying that, the shorts, if you're selling right now, you're playing into the shorts' hands, it's probably selling for a loss. A lot of people are looking at this like it's probably just going to keep moving down because it's in such a steady downtrend. Maybe it will. Maybe it will, but it has to end at some point. I mean, they've got a lot of cash on the balance sheet. The thing should be valued more than this. And we've got good catalysts coming for them. So, I think it's just people selling for a loss because they've been scared off by the initial downturn that we saw from the shorts, which if we pull up the Ortex, we'll pull this up. We'll see when the shorts really started bumping up. So, yeah, you can see that the shorts really started ramping up their positions around right after they pumped up. So shorts initially were responsible for a bit of the dip that we were seeing, as were some profit takers. I will say some people were looking to take profit, maybe people who had bought right before the earnings call, or people who had bought over the past 90 days. We got up to 99.99 cents, and we had not been anywhere near that high the past 90 days. In fact, the highest we were at 90 days before now was 89 cents. So, there were definitely a lot of buyers of Sundial who were up on money. And they then wanted to sell out for a profit. So can't blame them if they were selling for a profit. It looks like Sundial is just continuing to get smashed, though. So we're hitting 61 today. We'll see. We'll see what happens with it, though. An abstract says, my Sundial average cost is 70 cents on public and 68 on Webull. All hold forever. Nice, nice. Those are good buys. Those are good buys. Cheaper than a lot of people got. Certainly. A lot of people were buying it for 90 cents even. A lot of people were buying all their shares there. So we'll see what happens with it. But, guys, it is that time. It is 11 o'clock. It is time to end the stream. So thank you guys for joining me once again. We'll see you all tomorrow, hopefully, for a greener day than today. I mean, PROG is green. It's up 3% at this point, so it has fallen further. Looks like they may be returning to $3. And Sundial is down 3%. A lot of the cannabis stocks are down. LGVN, Longeveron is down. The markets overall, let me just take a peek real quick. They're down also. They are down a lot. Wow, actually. Hold on. Take a peek at this. Looks like they just started crashing. Must have been Powell saying something that people didn't like at the meeting. I'm sure we'll hear some reports on that, but look at that. SPY in the bottom left. Just crashing right now. So down 1.5%. There we go. So the perfect way to end the stream when the markets are mid-crash. But have a good day, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.